As hunter-gatherers, we had a lot of bitter food in our diet. Bitter is the most common flavor in the plant kingdom. Bitter compounds are how plants protect themselves from parasites and from being overgrazed by herbivores. We have a handful of receptors to recognize sweet, sour, spicy, salty tastes, but we have over 34 genes that can recognize over 100 different bitter compounds. Why so many? Well, one, it's to keep us from eating poisonous plants. But the other is it helps us know which plants are actually medicinal for us. Animals haven't lost this ability. If you watch a sick animal, it will often go off to eat plants that normally it wouldn't eat. It's trying to find some bitter compound that will heal it, because it's the bitter compounds where all the medicine is. So we've lost this to a degree, but herbalists would watch animals that had particular diseases go and eat certain plants, and then that was how they figured out that those plants were good for us. What they were actually getting were the bitter elements from the plants. Now, with the agricultural revolution 14,000 years ago on the Nile River, we learned how to start breeding plants to do what we wanted. And what we wanted was for them to be sweeter and less bitter. So over thousands of years, we've been pulling the bitters, the medicinals, out of our food supply. What's a good protocol if you want to bring bitters back into your lifestyle? We make a product called Zoiben, which is actually, I believe, quite close to what King Mithridates was doing. It's got the aromatics, which are essential oils, and the bitters. So we have the clove, ginger, oregano, and thyme. And then for the bitters, we have berberine and gentian. And what you do is shake it up, because the elements in here will separate, and just put a little bit on your tongue, like that, a couple of times a day. It's actually quite good before a meal because it'll stimulate digestion. Now, what you can't see that's actually happening right now is thousands of genes are being activated in my body to open up and do different things. There's genes that are activating detoxification in my liver. There are genes that are activating my white blood cells to be more functional. There are genes that are lowering my blood pressure. So while it's great to have pharmaceuticals when you need them, half the US population at age 50 are on one or more pharmaceuticals. What I'd suggest is think about taking bitters as your medicine when possible. Have something that is going to activate the bitter receptors, and then you might just find that if you do that often enough, you don't need to go to the more intense pharmaceuticals as often.